right, I'm just gonna get to it. I'm just gonna say honestly how I feel instead of just like dicking around the whole subject. First off, let me just say that this is not the vlog that we planned on putting out today. Char and I, sometimes when we get frazzled, we tend to misplace things. I would like to say that Char is a little bit more frazzled than me sometimes. He unfortunately misplaced our SD card. All the footage that we had from today, we don't have anymore. So let's just say that this opportunity arose to where I could talk about a particular subject that I don't know if I've ever really talked about on this channel, especially on my channel. I don't think I've ever actually talked about it. And another reason why I wanted to talk about this is that I had someone in my Instagram messages kind of contact me about having a significant other that was going through a very similar situation to what Charles is going through, and any advice that I could give to them on how to cope with it, how to stay strong, how to, what to say to them to help them get through this, like, what I was experiencing, how I felt. And it really, I don't know, it clicked with me a little bit about how I think the only person I've really talked to about kind of my thoughts and my feelings has been my sister. I don't know. I told Charles that I didn't want him to, worry or to stress out over what we're going to put out for tomorrow. And I would love this opportunity to the best of my ability, kind of talk about an alternative side to things, what it's like for me as his spouse, someone on the outside experiencing a significant other who is going through radiation chemo, who has a tumor, what it's like. It's a very tender subject, especially in this household. It's definitely a very tender subject to talk about anything related with the tumor situation, and now with chemo and radiation, we don't really talk about it much. So I'm just gonna get right into it. This is not planned, so if I'm blabbering and if I am not making complete sense, I'm really sorry. I am nervous talking about this. I am nervous about sharing how I feel about everything, because like I said, I haven't really talked to anybody about it. I've talked to my sister a little bit about it, but that's about it. Obviously, if you guys are watching, or if you clicked on this video never watching us before, you probably have kind of put two and two together that I do have a husband named Charles who is he's not only the creator of this channel, but he is the heart of the channel. He's the magical being that's brought together a really crazy community called the CTFxC. He has documented his life every single day for over 11 years and has shared so many personal experiences, so many changes in his life, so many good things, so many bad things, all the above. And one of the things that he has shared has been his, not only finding out that he had a brain tumor, that he had cancer, but kind of what came after that. So his surgeries, seizures, how it's changed his personal life, how it's changed his health. And now he's sharing what it's like going through radiation and chemotherapy after his third brain surgery. Now, I was not with Charles during his first two surgeries, so I was not there to experience that, but I was with him for his last surgery, or his most recent surgery, which is hopefully his last surgery. It coincidentally happened during the peak of COVID-19. I think a week prior to his surgery, I was allowed to go into the hospital and be there for him throughout the surgery, and just there's a spike in COVID-19. So obviously I couldn't go into the hospital with him, so he had to go through surgery by himself and a minor recovery, very short time in the hospital by himself, and then he obviously came home. Surgery went quickly, flawlessly, and they were able to remove all of the tumor, which is amazing. But I know I can tell you that from my personal experience, and I've shared this actually in that particular video. It was one of the most heart-wrenching and difficult times of my life, because you just don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it was definitely hard, but he came out of surgery with flying colors. They got all of the tumor removed, and then he came home. We were told that there was a potential situation of him having to undergo radiation and chemotherapy again. He's done chemotherapy on and off ever since he found out that he had a brain tumor, and we kind of expected that to come after this particular surgery because as like a precaution, and they had mentioned radiation to us, but they weren't really like 100% on it. And they said, you might have to, we're not really sure, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's something that you're going to discuss with your doctor. Once he had the tumor removed, we went in for another doctor's visit, or I'm sorry, he went in for another doctor's visit because it's still COVID-19. He came out with the news that he had to undergo radiation and chemo. It's like it's some type of treatment that they have found works really, really well with this particular tumor that he has, that doing both at the same time is much more effective than doing them separately or doing only one. That's why they have both of them going on at the same time. So if you guys didn't know that, that's why they do that. Now he takes chemotherapy, this is different from his past chemo. He takes it every single day for, I think, an entire month, or 36, over a month actually, like 35 days. And he does radiation Monday through Friday, and I think he has 35 sessions of that. It's a lot on his body and it's a lot on him. Fast forward, my experience with all of this. How am I feeling? How am I coping with it? What it's been like for me. I'm gonna first off say that I feel weird talking about this because I don't want to piggyback off of Charles' health situation, and I don't want it to come off that woe is me and it's so hard on me, and you know, this is, you know, interrupting my life or disrupting my life, because that's not it at all. I can't imagine what Charles is going through. I can't imagine what somebody's going through like Charles. You know, if someone's going through some type of treatment or through some type of something with their health that's not good, I can't imagine what that's like. So I want to first off say that it's really hard for me to talk about this because I don't know how to say exactly how I feel, because I don't know if I've ever really grasped how I feel. To start off, I'll tell you what we do. So we live in St. Petersburg, Florida. His treatment is located in Tampa at Moffitt Cancer Center, which is about a 35 to an hour 15-minute long drive based off of traffic. And we go there every single day, Monday through Friday, at about 10 o'clock in the morning. We're there for a couple of hours. So I bring Remy with us. I do my work in the car. I edit the vlog in the car. I take care of Remy in the car. Sometimes I have to feed her breakfast. Most of the days that we travel, I feed her breakfast in the car because she is like her dad and she eats breakfast late. We go there, we drop him off. He goes into his treatment. Then we go across the street to a parking lot and we sit in the car. I get as much work as I can done while feeding her and keeping her entertained if she needs to be entertained. And then with the leftover time that we have, we go out and we walk around the lake and around the park. So we do that Monday through Friday. We've done that, I think, for 4 weeks so far, 3 weeks so far. 4 weeks. Okay, I don't know what happened with this thing. Okay, so okay. I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm trying to like gather my thoughts. I want to gather my thoughts. I want to get it together. Okay, how am I truly feeling about all of this? What is really going on in my mind? What am I really feeling? As weird as this sounds, radiation and chemotherapy has kind of hit me a little bit harder than Charles going through brain surgery. And I think it's because with brain surgery, we knew that was coming. We prepared for it. We felt confident in it. We got all the information that we needed, and we were just ready for it. And Charles has tackled it before, and we are nervous because obviously it's a major surgery, but we knew things were going to be fine. And it's not that I don't think things are going to be fine with radiation and chemotherapy, but I think it's just different territory. Chemo is a space that we've experienced together before, that Charles has gone through before, but it's usually 1 week out of the month. And I know that during that week, you know, he's a little bit more tired, he's a little bit more irritable, and he's more inclined to take it easy. Whereas now he's taking it every single day on top of getting radiation. So I've just seen a different side of him, not like a mean side, not anything like that. And like, I don't want it to come off that way, but like I've seen a different side of him to where I think he's just so afraid that he's gonna portray some type of weakness and that he's gonna just display this side of him that is so vulnerable, and he doesn't want to be vulnerable. And that's made it kind of hard on me because, like I said, this is a really touchy subject in our household, and he doesn't always want to share his thoughts and his feelings. And I think I'm scared too. I think I'm scared to say, hey, Charles, you know, I may not be going through what you're going through, but I'm still here, and I'm next to you, and I'm living it with you. Throughout this entire process, I have been kind of trying to pick up the slack, take over any necessary stressors that he might have in his life. You know, obviously you guys know what we do for a living. We are on YouTube. We are in the social media light, if that makes sense. A lot of what comes with our job is, you know, obviously we film our daily lives, but we have the opportunity to be relevant. Does that even make sense? We have the opportunity to be something on Instagram and Twitter and things of that sort. So a lot of my income comes from doing promotions through Instagram and other forms of social media. I've been trying to take on more of that so that it takes more stress off of Charles, because Charles is a hardworking person, and he always strives to provide us with a wonderful life. And I think that he thinks that he has to always earn more or do more or make more to ensure that we are safe and secure. And because obviously we have a daughter, and his number one priority is making sure that her future is secure. I've noticed that ever since we have started going through this whole third brain surgery and radiation and chemotherapy, it has become like a huge concern of his. I don't want him to ever think that he can't find that security in me to provide for our family if need be. So that's why I've been really trying to pick up the slack with that. And it's a lot of work, and it's tiring, along with taking care of an infant who is really going through a lot herself. You know, she's teething and she's emotional and she's clinging to mommy. And, you know, with Char after his radiation every single day, he's so tired. I don't want him to come home and feel overwhelmed. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm talking about how I feel. All right, I'm just going to get to it. I'm just going to say honestly how I feel instead of just like dicking around the whole subject. It's hard on me. It's hard some days. I would say that this has been a really hard month. And it's scary for me sometimes, and I try to be strong, and I try to lift his spirit as much as possible. And some days I'm more successful with that than I am with others. But it's hard on me. It's hard on me I feel like I'm taking on a lot more tasks than I have in the past, and I'm totally cool with that. I don't want it to come off like I'm not cool with it, but I have found that I have had very, very little time to myself. Again, I'm okay with it, but it's just, it's harder some days. Some days are a lot harder than others. And I'm a little tired, and I just want to be the strength that Charles needs. I want to be the strength that maybe he can't always muster up. It's not always easy for me. And I would also be lying to you if I said that some days I wasn't more irritable than I should be. I'm definitely more irritable some days. It's so hard for me because I'm now in this place where I can't walk away for long periods of time because I have a daughter to take care of, and I have Charles to take care of, and I have her job to handle, and I have to make sure that I can provide an income for us, and I have to take care of the dogs and take care of the house and still do my stuff on the side. And just some days are tougher for me than others. I wish I could say that it was easy, and I wish that I could say that not every day is difficult, but I would be lying. Days are hard right now. I don't think it's going to be like this forever. I honestly think that once radiation ends, life is going to just be different because it's a lot on him and it's a lot on me. And it's just harder some days. I don't know. I feel like this is going to sound so stupid because I don't know what to say, because I don't want it to come off the wrong way. And I'm not necessarily worried about what you will think, but I don't want Charles to watch this and think that I can't handle it, because I can. This is very vulnerable. I feel very vulnerable. I feel very vulnerable right now. I'm literally drinking a glass of wine because I'm like so nervous talking about this. One, I know it's nowhere near what it's like to be someone who is going through what Charles is going through. I'm just in awe at how he handles it. I'm in awe that he just pushes through the pain. I'm in awe that he pushes through the exhaustion. I'm in awe that he pushes through the hard days, because he's an absolute hero and a true miracle, if I'm being completely honest. But for me, as someone who's also sharing in this experience with him, maybe not firsthand, but someone who's sharing in this experience, not every day is easy. Some days are way harder than others. Some days are just crazy. You might not see it in the vlogs. We don't want to show that. It's hard to be vulnerable like this. It's hard to like show the sides that are really hard, because we don't ever want to come off that way. But some days are more difficult than others. Some days are really frustrating and scary and exhausting for me. And some days I literally go into the room and I cry because I feel so overwhelmed. And I'm embarrassed of that sometimes. And like I said before, I haven't really shared a lot about this topic. And I'm probably not going to go into full detail about it, but I don't think anybody could ever be prepared for it. Whether you are the one who's going through, obviously the one who's going through the medical situation, but being the outsider, being someone from the other side, no one can prepare you for what's to come, or what may be happening, or how to handle it, or how to be there, or how to be supportive. Because I don't think that there's anything truly that someone can say to you that's gonna to make it easier, because there isn't. You just kind of have to figure it out along the way. You have to figure out what best works for you and what best works for your significant other. And it might not even be the best. It might just be like something temporary. And I feel like that's kind of how my days go. I don't always know what to say to Char. I don't always know how to comfort him. I try my best to be strong, but I have days that I break down. I have days that I'm sad. Do I share all the time how I feel about it? No, I don't. And I don't really know how to. There are some days that I'm just so overwhelmed and exhausted, and I feel like I can't breathe some days. I don't want people to be like, you should ask for help. Why are you not asking family for help? I do. We do. And family does help. They are there always. They are always there to help. They're always there. But to be completely honest, this particular situation is something that isn't always what Char and I together want our family to help with. Because Char finds more comfort in sharing in this particular experience either on his own, because he's not ready to necessarily talk to me about it, or he just wants it to be me and him and Remy. And I can totally respect that, because I know that this is totally different, and this is a completely different topic, and it's not the same at all. But like when I gave birth to Remy, I did not want anybody else in the hospital room except for Char and I, because it was a very intimate and personal thing. I felt my most vulnerable when I was there, but I was able to be vulnerable with Charles and not feel weird about it, you know? And so I understand why a lot of these personal experiences that we're going through together with radiation and chemotherapy, he has chosen to just have it be me and him, or just him. So I don't want you guys to think that family doesn't help, because they are there, and they're a huge help, and they're constantly asking what they can do, and they're constantly asking what they can bring over. Like Char's dad brings us food over, Char's mom brings us food over. They come and they help with Remy. My parents do the same thing and help with Remy. Char and I's day are going, because it's not just him. If he has a bad day, it doesn't always turn out to be a bad day. You know, if I'm having a bad day, it doesn't always turn out to be a bad day, but sometimes we both have hard days together in this journey. I'm trying my best to be forward and honest. I'm trying my best to gather my words, but I don't really even know what to say to really share how I'm feeling. And I wish I could sit on here and say to you guys, here's the best advice I can give to you being a significant other in this particular situation, or in a situation similar to mine. These are my tips to help you get through. These are my tips to help your partner feel safe and, you know, show them strength and get them through their hard days. The only thing that I can say is listen. That's probably the best information I can give you, is listen and try and talk with them about it if they're comfortable. Char's not the most comfortable talking about it. He doesn't really like to talk about it yet, so we're working on that. But I try and lift his spirits in any way that I can. I try and stay positive. Even when I don't feel positive, I try to stay positive. And you know, that usually turns my mood and turns his mood. So I think this is like a very uncharted territory. I don't care if you've gone through this like 7,000 times. I think that every time it's going to be different. I don't know if we as individuals know how to truly handle this. You know, there's no handbook on it. There's no handbook on telling you how to truly handle this. I've had to accept for me is it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to be exhausted. It's okay to just not want to deal with it. It's okay to feel all those things. It's okay to have time for yourself. I've struggled with that. I've struggled providing myself time away from everything because I dedicate a lot of my time to my family because I love them and I would do anything for them. If you could really take anything away from this, just remind yourself that you are important too and that it's important to take time to yourself. I hope this wasn't the weirdest, most rambly, dumb, stupid thing ever. We lost the SIM card this morning, or not this morning, we lost the SIM card tonight. Charles has not lost a SIM card in 9 years, that's what he told me. I hope I made some sort of sense. I don't know if I'm going to. I think I'm also very tired. I'm not gonna end this on a negative note, and I also don't want you to think that I can't handle this, and I also don't want you guys to think that like it's miserable, because it's not miserable. I would do this for him 100 times over. I would do this every day of my life as long as it made sure that Charles was healthy and okay and safe and here. I would do it every day. I would do it do it every day. I'm not gonna end this negative. I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. I know it's really weird. Again, if it didn't make sense, I'm really sorry. We love you guys. Tomorrow's gonna be really awesome. We have some really cool stuff happening this weekend. We're not gonna lose the SIM card. It's gonna be a great weekend, a positive weekend. Again, I hope this did not come off negative. I don't want it to come off negative. I just wanted to be super honest. I love you guys. Please hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. Please hit that like button if you love Charles, man. If you love him and you just think he is a superhero because he is, hit that thumbs up button, okay? All right, we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.